Hello and happy holidays to you. I'm Colin, aka the Tone Wizard. Delicious. And I am on vacation. I hope that you are also on vacation. It's the 21st of December here where we're at in this point of time. And we're moving towards Christmas. And I'm fucking happy as hell to not be outside in the torrential downpour that is falling here where I'm at. So anyways, the other day, I was finishing up some stuff for work, and I had to go into I have like a big closet at the front of my place where I keep the printer paper and all that sort of shit. And I was going for a stack of printer paper, and as I pulled it, this huge fucking object came tumbling down and struck me in the head, off my head, knocked over the vacuum cleaner, into the cat dish, knocked the water everywhere, fucking kibble everywhere, right into the friggin' dirty cat box. And this thing came down like a bolt from hell. Luckily I wasn't injured. Luckily I still got this pretty face here. But it was this. This is what it was. Okay? This right here came toppling down, boom, right off the dome. Ow, fuck, I lost it. If anybody was in the hallway or within earshot, they know what kind of neighbor they're dealing with now. But in any event, I've looked at the user demographics for the channel. I've done some analyzing, and I think that most of you out there, judging from the age of most people that are watching the channel, will know exactly what this is. And if you don't know what it is, well, you're young. You still have a beautiful life ahead of you, and I wish you well. But it's a 200 CD holding. It's a 200 CD capacity wallet. A giant CD wallet is what this thing is. And if you can believe it or not, this was actually meant to be a space saver when they were made. And that's hilarious. I used to take this thing around with me in my truck. I had a Chevy S10. There was barely enough room in the front for two people, but I always had this thing in there because you just never knew when you would need a CD. You physically couldn't flip through this thing while you were driving. So in some ways it was better, but in a lot of ways, yeah, out of date, nobody's buying CDs anymore, etc. But when this fell down and struck me in the head, two things occurred to me. One was being, I wanted to open this thing up and have a look in it. And the other thing was, I don't even have a CD player. Like I gave away my PS5 when I built my gaming tower, and my gaming tower doesn't even have a CD player. So I was like, wow. This thing has probably not been open for about 10 years. And so I wanted to open it up and have a look. Now, I've also wanted to try a 2-camera setup for my channel for some things that I kind of want to do. So I thought I would make a video and have a look in here and discuss what it is. Because I can tell you right now, this hasn't been open for probably about 10 years. And this represents, it's a time capsule of the period of music that I was listening to. And it was probably after my death metal, heavy metal phase, and then before widespread piracy and the death of the record industry. So there's shit in here that I probably don't listen to anymore. There's shit in here that I'm probably going to say it belonged to somebody else and isn't mine. There's probably some embarrassing stuff in here, but I want to flip through and see what it is. And like I say, I thought I'd do a video because, I'm going hard on the fish videos and the Ween series that I do. And if you're watching from those shows, thank you very much to all the new subscribers over there. This isn't going to be related to that content, but I thought at the very least this would be embarrassing for me to open this up. And I thought, why not make a video? So if you want to trash me for some of the music that's in here, please, by all means, if you listen to some of this stuff and have something to add, please just let me know as well, because I think that it'd be fun to take a look in this. And I thought, why not make a video? I have time. I can't go anywhere. I can't do anything. So why don't I do this? And the lady's at the gym here. So the wife I didn't put the wedding ring on. Oh, fuck. Back into this video here. So I'm going to open this up. I'm going to take a look at it. I'm going to talk about whatever we find in there. And please, if you have something to add, let me know as well. So let's just get the other camera going here. And let's just shrink me down out of proportion. Let's get this fucking guy out of the way here. Okay, let's pop this open and take a gander. Because like I say, I don't know exactly what we're going to find in here, but I'm curious. Oh, right off the bat, we've got some gold. We've got Marilyn Manson Smells Like Children, which I believe was a clever rebuttal to Smells Like Teen Spirit, albeit in bad taste, because I think when this came out, let's just take a look at this guy here. This came out, it doesn't say. Does it say? I don't know. I think this was late 90s, and Cobain had already, died. So very funny, Marilyn Manson, you fucking shock merchant. Very fucking hilarious, kicking a guy when he's down like that, completely dead. Smells like children. What the in the context of what we have going on with QAnon? Did you think that was funny, Marilyn? Prick job. Anyways, I don't believe any of that shit. Full disclosure. I'm just being a dick. I made a Janis Joplin. This is a pirated CD. Please, Janis Joplin's management, don't come after me. But I listened to that endlessly. That was a fucking great one. We have a mixed CD here. It says CD of fucking boobies. I don't know what that is. And another one, I'd love to check out what the shit is. But like I say, I don't even have a CD player anymore. So I got to figure out a way to see what's in here. We got some classics here. The Wall. And John Frusciante, Shadows Collide. I never could get into that album, his solo stuff. It was highly acclaimed, but I personally couldn't get into it. Real classic here, Johnny Cash at San Quentin. I listened to the shit out of that. I love that CD. I even went through a phase where I kind of tried to perform in the style of sort of Johnny Cash. I bought like a collarless black dress shirt, and I started singing in a low register, and it was really bad. And incidentally, I won't go into too much detail here, but a girl broke up with me, and I was in this Johnny Cash dark phase, and I remember going to play a show, and I went to strum a note on my guitar, and like 4 of the guitar strings broke, and I was at a down point, but Johnny brought me a lot of joy during that. So we got a Nirvana / Red Hot Chili Peppers mix and the CCR. If you ain't down with CCR, you can go ahead and live your life. That's your problem. More classics here. More classics. This CD right here, Red Hot Chili Peppers. I'm gonna unabashedly say that this is probably one of my favorite albums of all time. It's fucking fantastic. Frusciante's guitar work on here he was like 19, 20 years old. It's fucking fantastic. But none of this stuff is news to anybody. I do have some U2 in there. I like U2. I don't give a shit that they foisted their shit onto people with iTunes and all that. I always liked U2. And I got Color and Shape, some Foo Fighters, Beatles for sale. There's probably going to be a lot of Beatles in here because I am a massive, massive Beatles fan. And incidentally, I just heard that Peter Jackson's putting out a brand new Beatles documentary in 2021 that's going to have footage from the Twickenham studios when they were recording. I think it would have been, the one with, not important, but it's the one with Get Back and stuff on there. It's going to be great. Anyways, lots of Beatles in here. But this CD right here, Incubus, this one I loved. I wasn't really into Incubus. A lot of my friends liked it. I thought it was kind of like watered down Chili Peppers, and it was more on the sort of hip-hop side of things to my ear at the time anyways. They had some DJ stuff going on, and I wasn't really feeling that. I thought it was kind of a somber band. I thought it was for the ladies, if I'm being honest with you. But this album here, very Chili Peppers kind of influence and just some great guitar work on there. That one there goes without saying, in Rainbows. That's a fantastic album. So, and obviously, yeah, Beatles and stuff like that. This album here fucking changed my life, and I'd love to hear what some of you have to say about this album if you've ever listened to it. But it's the Symphonica, so it's Metallica performing with a symphony orchestra and a conductor and all that, and it's a fucking fantastic album. A lot of the true Metallica fans didn't like it, but a lot of them didn't like the Black Album, and then they ended up buying it, listening to it, and learning all the songs off of it 10 years later anyways, when they had to have a wedding and they needed to find something that was suitable to get married to. And nothing else matters. Yeah, the best and more Johnny Cash in here. And what's this one here? Original motion picture soundtrack for this I gave this guy, I don't know if you can see the scratches on there, but I listened to this one. I almost burnt this guy out. This is the soundtrack to the National Lampoon's Animal House. I fucking love this. There's like a lot of old kind of rock and roll on here, and yeah, I love this one. I really did. Let's put that away. There's a Nirvana live album that a lot of people probably haven't listened to. And what's this? I don't know what this is. This might be Chaos. I think this is I have no idea what this is. If you know what that is, it might be Chaos, I think. I think it could be Chaos. But I don't know. If you know what that is, let me know in the comments, because I have no fucking clue what that is. Okay, yeah, more Zeppelin and Elmore James, King of the Guitar. I tried to get into it, but I couldn't. I do remember trying to listen to that. This album right here, though, Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, Deja Vu, is absolutely fucking brilliant. And again, that's one. Look at the fucking scratches on that bad boy. I listened to that into the ground. Carry On, trying to, you ever try to sing along to something? I'm sure everybody does this, but you're in the car and you're trying to sing along to something like Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, and you're just like, carry on, love is coming. It's fucking horrible. And yeah, Helpless is a great song on there. Almost Cut My Hair, really good rock and roll on there. Really good stuff. Most of this isn't too embarrassing, I gotta say. Most of this is pretty much straightforward. Band on the Run, that's a classic. Eddie Paul, Bruce's Greatest Hits. That's either one of my band's CDs or it's a bootleg of the NoFX album from years ago. I can't quite remember. James Blackshaw, Litany of Echoes. No fucking idea what that is. Disc 2. Pearl Jam. Why Go Home? Live on 2 legs. Dark Side of the Moon, classic pirated white album. Ooh, we got some good stuff here, actually. This, I think, is Coldplay, and I think you're going to see a lot of Coldplay in here because I kind of married a girl. I have an ex-wife. 50% of divorces, of marriages end in divorce. My first one was a divorce. My second marriage, I think the statistics support this one lasting. Anyhow, I was married to a girl. She loved Coldplay, and she got me into it. And I challenge anybody to prove to me why Coldplay sucks. They suck now for sure. Everything after this album sucked. This album might even suck too. I think this is the Viva whatever the fuck it was. Rolling Stones, Sticky Fingers. I gave that some listens, but we got 2 right here. These are 2 of my favorite fucking albums that I listened to growing up. And I'll start with this because this has a Canadian connection. Somebody was actually giving me some shit on the channel about a boot, I guess saying a boot. I think it's about. I don't know what you're hearing, but let me know in the comments. This is oh Jesus, let me put this up here. This is I Mother Earth. It's an album called Scenery and Fish. And I don't think they ever really made it in America, but that's a fantastic back-to-back album. It's funk rock. It's kind of in the vein of Chili Peppers, but maybe a little more earthy, I guess would be the term. But there's some fantastic music on there. The vocal arrangements by the singer, whose name is Edwin, who I think had a bigger career and a couple of big hits in the States as well. You may know him, and you may actually, if you're in America, which again, a lot of the demographics show that the people who watch these videos are, you may be familiar with the song "Summertime in the Void." But anyways, that's a different singer than is on this album. And this album is a fucking creme de la creme here. Right here, though, we have probably one of my most listened to albums of all time. And this album, I believe, is... I can't remember which one this is, but this is Dying Fetus. And I think this is either Killing on Adrenaline or I can't remember what that one is, but I do know that I listened to the fuck out of that because I just recognized the disc. I remember slipping that into my non-skip CD changer and bombing around the hallways in high school, just like walking by people like, yeah, man, how's it going on? And just fucking blasting death metal in my ears and being like, yeah, having thoughts. We all have those teenage thoughts. Anyhow, we'll move right along here. Two mixed CDs. I'd love to pop some of these in a CD player and see what the fuck's on there. More classics, more Red Hot Chili Peppers, Black Crowes. This CD here, I never listened to it. I don't even know where it came from. I just remember, I think somebody left it in my truck one day, and I never got rid of it. But all this stuff here, Eminem, The MM Show. I had a very brief point in my life where I got into the finer points of music production, and I started listening to a lot of stuff that Dr. Dre had done. And he did some fantastic musical work on the Eminem albums and on his own stuff and on all the stuff that he's worked on. But I got really into production, and I found myself just listening to this just to listen to the sounds on the album. I wasn't really into Eminem and all that. I've just never been that much of a hip-hop person, but I was into that for a while, I will say. All right. Moving on here, some Dylan. There's the Ween CD, actually, right here. I said this wasn't going to be a Ween or Fish really thing, but this is actually the Ween CD that my buddy gave me like 11, 12 years ago and got me into Ween. So I definitely want to know what's on there. I've talked about that in some of the episodes on Ween Talk, which, by the way, if you're watching this, I do an episode called Ween Talk. Some Ben Harper there. I did not like Ben Harper. Again, I think my ex-wife was into Ben Harper, and we used to listen to it. But I don't know if that soured me on the Harper, but I never really could get into it. There's a lot of shit in here. There may be upwards of 150 discs in here. I don't know how long this is going to go, but what do we got here? Kings of Leon, Aha, Shaken Heartbeat, and City of Color. So right here, this is kind of embarrassing for me just to see this. And we got, oh man, this is a bad. Thank God Johnny and the Beatles are here, because another mixed CD. But thank God Johnny Cash and the Beatles are here, because we have 2 Jack Johnson discs here that are less than legit, and we have some City of Color and Kings of Leon. And in all fairness, I did enjoy some stuff that Kings of Leon did, but City and Color, man, it's not even nails on a chalkboard. You know what it is to me? It's like just like a incessant padded tapping and smearing on a plexiglass thing. Yeah, I don't like that kind of music that's just intent. I know that the singer, that Dallas Green, whatever the guy's name is, I can't even remember. He plays in a much harder band, and that's, they're a big hardcore band from what I understand. But this City and Color crap, it's just so flaky and fluffy and garbage. Can't stand it. We got a bunch of mixed CDs here. Van Morrison, Moondance. It's a classic. The best of the Velvet Underground. I went through a period of listening to the Velvet Underground that was very extensive when I was working landscaping with a guy who got me into it, man. And I used to try and learn Velvet Underground songs. I can't remember who the guitar player for the Velvet Underground is, but let me know if you know his name in the comments, or I could just fucking Google it anyways. But I tried to learn some of these songs, and just the guitar playing, whether it was Lou Reed or the other guy, the rhythmic chugging guitar playing is so hard to fucking emulate. And I listened for hours and hours and hours to this stuff to try and figure out what they were doing. There was a track like What Goes On that I loved, and Beginning to See the Light. I could not fucking learn how to play those songs properly to save my life. Still can't. And I still think about that from time to time. What else do we got here? The Best of the Doors. And again, just in all fairness, I bought a lot of these. I had tapes at one point, and some of these albums I did own, but they burned out, or I gave them away, or something happened, and I had to redo them. Soundtrack to Platoon, greatest, in my opinion, probably the greatest, if not war movie, greatest Vietnam movie of all time. You might say Apocalypse Now, but Platoon to me, man. I have a small company. I got a couple guys working for me, and we quote Platoon all day and all night. Gets us through the day. Eric, I don't know what that is. Can I borrow a feeling? Never listened to that. That may have been belonged to an ex or something like that. And Rubber Soul, this band here, Fog and Molly, I'd forgotten all about them. They're a fucking fantastic kind of Irish rock band. Grateful Dead, we got this right here. Oof, this will age me like old milk right here. This is Silverchair Frog Stomp. This is the first CD I ever bought. It's not the first album I ever had. My dad gave me a box of albums when I was like, I want to say 10 or whatever. And I used to listen to the Beach Boys and the Beatles and Led Zeppelin. Those were my favorite albums. But this one here, this is the first thing I bought. And so you'll remember when Nirvana came out, they fucking exploded, and all the record companies were scrambling for acts. And you'll remember these guys from Australia came around, and they were like 14 or whatever. A lot of people dispute whether they wrote the music or played the music. I think they did, because I remember, and you can watch this, but there's live footage of them playing when they're like 16. They fucking rip, and the songs on this were fucking tight. I listened to this front to back. I love this album. What more can I say? So you know what? This is actually a fucking huge collection here. So I think what we might do is I might actually end this video, because it's already at about 20 minutes long, and I'm gonna see if anybody enjoyed watching this, and if anybody had any comments to add and stuff here, because I can see some interesting stuff in here. I see the corner of that right there, which is something that I'm excited to see in there. But thank you very much for watching this, and I just want to say, if you are a new subscriber to the channel, I thank. And if you've enjoyed this video or any of my other content, please like this video and subscribe to the channel if you feel like it. And a little heads up, I'm going to be performing on my Instagram account, which is, you can see actually over here. You know what? We'll get this. out of the way for now, and will bring me back up here. But yeah, I'm going to be performing live on Instagram there tomorrow, playing some songs and stuff over in the studio. So tune into that. Go follow me on there if you feel like it. But if you've enjoyed this video, and if it gets like, I don't know, if it gets to even, you know what, I don't have a very big channel. If this video gets to 20 or 30 views, I'll just do another one. So thank you very much for watching. Happy holidays. Cheers to you, and take care of yourselves.